Well, Donald Trump has a way of stunning the world and keeping leaders on their toes. Of all the solutions being put forward to bring peace to the Middle East, this is without doubt one of the most bold and ambitious ideas that has ever been put on the table.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
In that press conference with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Trump declared that the US will own and rebuild Gaza, turning it into the Riviera of the Middle East. Now, the US will be responsible for dismantling bombs, and the 1.8 million Palestinians will be relocated as Gaza is being rebuilt, which could take between 10 to 15 years. Now, as you'd expect, the left is going into meltdown over this, while Israelis are celebrating the clear support that they're receiving from the Trump administration, which involves a plan that would no longer see Hamas terrorists controlling the Gaza Strip. Terrorists who've been vowing to repeat October 7 attacks. Now, this extraordinary plan by Donald Trump would reshape the future of the Middle East. But is Trump serious? Well, possibly. But what he is definitely serious about is showing the world what leadership looks like. He's signalling to Arab leaders that there's an economic opportunity here and that they need to get on board. This is most likely a negotiating tactic by Trump to push countries such as Jordan, Egypt and Saudi Arabia to come to the table to find a real and long-lasting solution in Gaza, because it's never going to work with Hamas in control. And although it might be a wild concept, without these bold moves and big ideas, what action would we be seeing being taken? None. Only now that Donald Trump is in, we're seeing hostages finally return home. And there are real conversations happening behind the scenes to bring peace to the Middle East. For those freaking out about the concept that may or may not take place, just remember that Donald Trump campaigned on being an anti-war president, and that is what we're getting. Another key part of Trump's campaign was his promise to clean out the swamp and to cut out taxpayer dollars that are going to waste. And what's being exposed at USAID is shocking. What started as an initiative to provide foreign aid has become a corrupt organisation that spends US money on radical left issues. Here is Caroline Levitt highlighting some of the waste.
$1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either.
And it doesn't stop there. $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt, $20 million on a Sesame Street show in Iraq, $4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. It is hard to fathom and it's hard to keep up. The latest bombshell is that the left-wing media outlet Politico has been raking in millions and millions of dollars from USAID.
I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOJ team is working on canceling those payments now.
What a scandal. Now, if you need reminding of what Politico is, it's spent the last 10 years essentially campaigning against Donald Trump and trying to destroy the MAGA movement. And isn't it interesting that Politico is the news outlet that claimed the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation, which was one big lie, and a significant lie as it was published just as Americans were weeks away from voting for either Donald Trump or Joe Biden in the 2020 election. What is being exposed with USAID is really dark. It's not just funding a media outlet that promotes lies, funding woke DEI programs around the world. USAID handed over tens of millions of US taxpayer dollars to scientists in Wuhan to do gain-of-function research, which, as we know, likely led to a lab leak and the outbreak of COVID-19 that killed millions of people and led to a world shutdown that took away our freedoms. If you've been following closely, you've probably been feeling the outrage for some time. But for those who've been trusting mainstream media outlets that don't really tell you what's going on and are just learning about where their taxpayer dollars have been going to for the first time, projects that has not only not helped US citizens but actually harmed them, would surely be congratulating Donald Trump and Elon Musk right now for shining a big bright light on the corruption that has been taking place at USAID. But what do the Democrats think? Well, they'd rather US tax dollars continue to be wasted on DEI and dangerous projects overseas and keep the truth hidden. Here is Chuck Schumer making some noise about this.
Behind closed doors, take away our privacy, take away our dollars, take away everything we have. We are going to fight this fight. I am going to stand with you in this fight, and we will win. 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 We won't rest. We won't rest.
Gosh, he knows how to make you cringe. But it's not just Chuck Schumer. The pile-on against Elon Musk and his brilliant work continues. And what's the Democrats' go-to strategy to smear those they don't agree with? Oh, that's right, call them a Nazi.
We will see you in the courts, in Congress, in the streets. Elon Musk is a Nazi nepo baby.
Hillary Clinton is joining in on this too, claiming that Elon Musk is a mounting blitzkrieg-style administrative coup on the US government. Now, the Democrats are more irrelevant than ever before. Call me cynical, but I doubt these empty and ugly attacks are going to help them claw back any support. Surely there can only be relief that finally we have people willing to go through the books to cut taxpayer waste. But what's being uncovered with USAID may just be the tip of the iceberg.